Swiftly the woman raises the gun, brings it down with a crack of breaking bone on the assistant's cheek. "Bitch," she says as she walks away. The three robbers, expensive in their furs and with their designer bags loaded with loot, walk out. The first woman locks the door behind them. The staff remain frozen, expecting their end to come. There is no Bentley waiting outside, instead a gray van. The door slides open, the women climb in, and the van speeds off into the Christmas Eve traffic. The heist has taken maybe 5 minutes. The loot is worth many millions of dollars. It's the second time they've struck this month. Chapter 1. Los Angeles, Christmas Eve. Sonny Alvarez boarded the Air France flight to Paris. It had taken all her precious air miles and a great deal of money, but if she was going to be unhappy, she was going to do it first class, in style, and alone. She wore no makeup, not even her trademark brave red lipstick. Tinted frameless glasses helped disguise her eyes, swollen from crying. Tall, slender, with a fall of dark hair that swung over her face, she looked younger than her 36 years and somehow vulnerable. She wore narrow jeans, stuffed into tall black sheepskin Uggs, a black cashmere turtleneck, a black pea coat that she now flung off and handed to the waiting steward, before flinging herself into the comfortable leather seat that could be made to recline so that later she might sleep stretched out full length. If she could ever find sleep again. The flight was a long one, 11 hours. 11 hours without Mac Reilly. Her fiancé was TV's famous detective with his own program, Mac Reilly's Malibu Mysteries. Handsome in his own slightly worn, casual, confident way. No, damn it. Mac was more than that. He was sexy, good-looking, blue eyes that looked into hers with passion when he made love to her. No, change that to when they made love together. Because making love with Mac Reilly, the feel of his hands on her body, the way his skin smoothed under her own hands, the way her own skin seemed to melt under his, the electric shock his lips on hers always gave her, hot-wiring her, sending tremors through her until all she could think about was sex with him. She had met Mac at a press party for his TV show. He'd told her he'd noticed her across the room. "How could I miss you in that outfit?" was what he had actually said. She had on a black turtleneck and a white miniskirt and her tough girl motorcycle boots, because she'd ridden there on her Harley. Mac tapped her on the shoulder, and she found herself looking at this rugged guy in jeans and a t-shirt, whose deep blue eyes were taking her in like she was the best thing he had seen all night. He asked her name. She'd said she knew his. Neither was drinking because they were driving, but both had that elated feeling of being on another planet where even the noise of the party seemed suddenly muted. Later, Mac told her he noticed her clunky boots first, and she told him she'd noticed his muscular arms and had wanted to be wrapped in them right there and then. She didn't care who saw. Of course, they were total opposites. Mac, dragged up by his bootstraps from the streets of Boston and the Miami crime scene to the private eye and TV personality he now was. And she, the half-Latina wild child brought up on a ranch, beautiful and brainy and ditzy, but with a business degree from Wharton and the determination to be her own woman. It had been, as they'd told each other so often since, love at first sight. Eyes across the room, or maybe a bit closer. And that was the way it was, and had been, until now. "Stop it." Sonny sat up straight in her airline chair, pushed back her long dark hair, skewered it in a ponytail, and accepted the glass of champagne the steward was offering her. She stared at the glass in her hand, not really seeing it. She was Mac's fiancée no longer. They had been together 4 years and were to have been married next month, but he'd changed his plans yet again. Mac had also agreed they would get married last year, and a couple of times preceding that. Every time it got close, something else came up. Another mystery he simply had to take on. He couldn't say no, except, it seemed, to Sonny. This time was the last straw. She had even bought the dress. Cream. White didn't look so good in winter. And lace.